Krishnamurti and V. Ganesan. I was steeped in Sri Ramana Maharshi's teachings and had come for good to live in Sri Ramanasramam. The recorded conversations of the Maharshi with seekers had just been published. As I was associated with its production from the manuscript to the printed book, almost every answer of Sri Bhagavan was resounding in my ears. If I was not reading or contemplating the talks with Sri Ramana Maharshi, I would be discussing its contents with fellow seekers. Sri Bhagavan's name and form meant so much to me that it was like the breath of my life itself. Then, in the early 60s, a friend spoke to me about a great spiritual master whose teaching, he said, was similar to that of Sri Bhagavan's. I listened, but nothing went in. I had not read J. Krishnamurti. Whatever little my friend told me about the man and his teachings fell on deaf ears, as they say. When I was next in Madras, the same friend took me in his car one evening to a talk given by Krishnamurti. I must confess I went more to humor my friend than to listen to a spiritual talk. When we reached the gates of Vasant Vihar, the talk had already begun. After walking a few yards into the garden, I was charmed to hear a sweet voice talking over the microphone. Its very tone made me very happy. I was yet to see the speaker. He was saying, "Sir, take it for certain, if there is no truth within you, there is no truth outside of you." My whole body shook with ecstasy. If Sri Bhagavan had spoken in English, he would have said the very same words. This was the feeling that reverberated in me. Also, the very first darshan of this figure, this mysteriously humbled me. I listened to the talk. Something churned inside, and a tremendous admiration for him arose within me. I was silent for the rest of the evening. Every year thereafter, I regularly went to Krishnaji's talks. I listened to him as attentively as possible. I made it a point to read his books. I honestly tried to understand his teaching without bias or prejudice. I did not discuss Krishnamurti with anyone, since I wanted to learn his teaching myself directly. My outward behavior, movements, why, even the way I dressed, all changed by themselves, though imperceptibly. And it happened in a most beautiful and natural way. I understood that the crux of his teaching was centered around each individual as the truth. He said, "You are the truth. You alone can know it. No one else can make you realize it." This absolute stress on the you helped me to take the plunge within me. Yes, the I in every you and the me is the clue to the living truth. This vital message, though couched in the most unconventional terms, made me pursue it relentlessly. The message of the Maharshi, the I is the reality, the only reality that ever exists, became vibrantly evident in Krishnamurti's central teaching. However, one question again and again reared its head. While Bhagavan Ramana's words had a soothing effect, why did Krishnamurti's create such turbulence in my mind? I chanced to read the following lines from M.P. Pandit, where he said, "One teacher does not repeat what another has done already. To compare Ramana Maharshi to some modern teacher is to see him in a wrong perspective. Sri Ramana, like every other world teacher, has come to reveal a new approach to the eternal truth. The truth always stands eternal, but the approaches vary depending upon the changing conditions through which humanity is passing. I remembered Sri Bhagavan's proclamation where he said, "There are no yanis, no realized ones. There is only jnana, realization." Since we view the masters as bodies through our body-mind complex, we see them as different entities, and their utterances too as separate, differing, and in opposition. When we look at them as persons like Jesus Christ, the Buddha, Lord Krishna, Sri Ramakrishna Paramahansa, Bhagavan Ramana, and J. Krishnamurti, we miss the unifying aspect of their singular wholeness. The scriptures say, "Ekam sat vipram bahuda vadanti." Truth is one. Sages call it by different names. How true! Could it be that the society and environment in which the sage takes birth molds the mode of expression of the sage? Ramana Maharshi was born into an orthodox Brahmin family. He was schooled like any other lad and had no good or bad influences, spiritual or otherwise. He did not even know about meditation, sadhana, Brahman, Atman, bondage, and liberation, subjects which he was to expound upon later. In fact, Maharshi categorically stated, "This is called philosophy, and the learners are struggling to learn all this. Is it not sheer waste of time? Ah, fortunate is the man who does not involve himself in this maze." I was indeed fortunate that I never took to it. Had I taken to it, I would probably be nowhere, always in confusion.